One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about toxic advice, and I want to specifically talk to younger ladies about accepting toxic advice from older women. Okay? One of the things that women need to understand about accepting toxic advice or passing down of limiting beliefs from older women. A lot of these women are, in essence, projecting. They are projecting onto you their hopes, their dreams, their unfulfilled hopes and dreams and the things that they wanted to do with their life, or the man they wish they had married, or whatever the career they wish they had, and all the travel they wish they did, the house they wish they bought, or, they are in essence passing down to you all of their unfulfilled hopes and dreams. So you have to be very mindful about who you're getting your life advice from. Thank you so much. Leon_figures says, hello, Miss Anita, been missing your lives recently. Hope things are blessed on your end. They are. I'm doing great. Now, I am trying to wrap up a manuscript for a book that I need to have done by the day before Christmas. So that's why I haven't been going live as often, because I have so much on my plate that I'm trying to get done. But ladies, I want you to be mindful. Okay, any advice that paints men out to be the villain in your story is bad advice. Okay, I have to say that very directly. Any advice that puts the onus, the responsibility of your life in a man's hands is bad advice. Okay, because the truth is, the onus is in you. It's on you. I teach young women to be radically responsible and accountable. So Dr. L recently did a video where he talked about a young lady who was asked out on a date or asked out by a young man, and she didn't like how he showed up on the date. She didn't like the fact that he wasn't caretaking, that he wasn't walking her from her car, and they were supposed to be meeting at a nightclub, and he didn't walk me to my car, and I'm gonna see if I can find it so I can add it. He didn't walk me to my car, and he didn't, he didn't have the chivalry. He didn't offer to pay for my parking, and we go into this club and we're sitting in this section, and he orders a bottle, but the bottle takes 30 minutes to get there. So she's talking about how awful it was, and all the ways in which he didn't show up as a gentleman, all the ways in which he didn't show up as the man on this date. But here was my comment. See, this is what women don't like about me. Here was my comment about what happened. She said in the story, I don't even go to clubs. I don't even go to bars like that. I don't drink like that. I don't smoke. But I figured, yeah, what the hey? Yeah, let me see. Let me, what the heck? Let me see what happens. No. That was your first mistake. That was your first mistake, young lady. You went along with a plan that you sat here and told us you don't even do. See, that is the difference between a woman who has a standard set for herself. That's a woman who's standing on business. I don't meet men I don't know out at clubs I've never been to, if you said, I don't do that, I don't do that, then you don't do that. But can we be honest? This man must be physically attractive. This man must have some sort of swag. This man must have some sort of level of physical attractiveness, whether it was the height, it was the beard, it was his physique, something about him she found physically attractive because she was ready to go against her standard for him. And that's where the onus falls on the woman. Once you say, I don't do fill in the blank, and then you do it. So that's like that young lady saying, I don't normally go back to a man's place that I don't know. But then she goes back to his place and something horrible happens. Y'all, let me tell you what happened with this guy that I didn't know, that I just met, that I went out with. You know, I went back to his place and something horrible happened. Or I went back to his place and the police raided it and we all got arrested. See, you broke your own rule. You went against your own standard. So in my humble opinion, see, this is what women don't like about me. I'm going to hold you accountable at every turn. You abandoned yourself. You did something that you say you don't do, you don't like. I don't even drink like that. I don't even go to clubs. Then why are you sitting in a club? Why are you sitting in a club with a man you don't know? Oh, and he poured me a shot. He poured everyone in the section a shot, and then I didn't even get another shot. And it wasn't because, oh, I need to drink like that. It was the principle of the thing. You just told us you don't drink that like that. And y'all know my advice. You shouldn't be drinking on a first date with a strange man you don't know. So, like I said, women hate me because I'm going to make you the master of your universe. I believe that you as an adult woman should be radically responsible for your life. I do. And instead of, everybody treating you like a child and this idea of women being children, I actually believe you're a grown up. I actually believe you're a grown woman who can make good decisions for your life with good guidance. And y'all hate that. You hate that level of accountability and responsibility for yourself. So in my humble opinion, she had a horrible experience because here's the reality. She went against what she claimed was her standard. And that does tend to happen, right? When we do things that go against our morals or our values or our standards, we tend to have a bad experience. That's how it's teaching us, don't go against your standard. See, that's the lesson in that. Well, girl, you don't go to clubs, you don't go to bars, but here you are sitting in a club with this man in this section. You're not getting any food, you're barely getting any drinks, and, he's not really talking to you like that. He's not trying to get to know you. Yeah, this is what happens when you go against your standard, right? You go against your standard, you get bad results over and over. And I keep telling women this. You go to men's apartments that you barely know and bad things happen. See, you give men money that you barely know and you don't get that money back. I just don't understand why, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, why that's so hard to figure out. But in my humble opinion, she went against her standard. And yeah, she didn't have a great experience. Had she said, I don't feel comfortable. I don't even go to nightclubs like that. Can I be honest? I don't even go to nightclubs. I don't even go to bars. If you want to go out to dinner, if you want to go to Topgolf, if you want to go to a movie, if you want to, there's a million things they could have done. If you want to go to a museum, if you want to go see live music, if you want to go to a comedy show, see, I would have passed on the bar. I would have passed on the club and said, yeah, if you want to do anything else, I'd be down. And I would meet him there and then, walk in and see how chivalrous he was. But again, that first, second, third meetup, it should be in a place where you can actually have conversation. You can hear each other. You can have conversation. The lighting is good, so you can see each other. It is not a dimly lit, strobing light, loud music place. Like, all of this was completely like, come on now, who trained you? Who trained you in how to date? And the truth is, most young women have not been trained. Most young women do not have a good standard for basic dating. You all don't have basic dating etiquette. But she broke all the dating etiquette and she had a bad experience. Yeah, I guess that would have happened. So, but ladies, any advice that paints men as the villain in your story is not good advice. I'm just gonna, that's the first rule I'm gonna give you. If someone is telling you how awful men are, how bad men are, how they all cheat, they all lie, they all, are gonna make your life a living hell, whatever that advice looks like, that's horrible advice. Because that puts you in a frame of mind that you're not open. You are actually villainizing or demonizing the other person. Like, you're not going to find your soulmate doing that. You're not. I keep telling women, a lot of you all are not finding the right man for you because you hate men. You hate men. How are you supposed to find the man of your dreams and you hate men? Like, make that make sense. That's like me trying to get a job in an industry that I hate. At some point, I'm going to have to get real with myself. Like, yeah, maybe, I can't become fill in the blank because I hate that industry. That doesn't make any sense. Those two energies don't align. But a lot of you all hate men or you fear men. You have a lot of fear when it comes to men. And you don't like men. You're mean to men. You do not like men. You're not compassionate. You're not empathetic, and I'm not talking about the toxic empathy. I'm talking about the basic, this is another human being empathy. Okay? And yeah, you're going to have a tough time meeting the man of your dreams when you come into the situation like that. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. Anything that paints men out as the villain in your story, that's horrible advice. That's horrible advice because that's not true. And until you change your mindset around that, you'll never see the good guys. You'll never see the decent men, the good men, the men who are not scary and not dangerous. You'll never see those men because that's the narrative that you're running. That's your confirmation bias. And it's going to keep showing up over and over and over again. All you can see is the F-boys. All you can see is the dudes that are going to act up. Because in your mind, yeah, all men are like that. Okay? Anything that tells you to go against your biology is bad advice. Anybody that's telling you, do you go out there, find yourself. Man, I hate that. Find yourself and, figure out yourself and figure out what you want and what you like and do all of that and take your time. You have all the time in the world. No, you don't. That's horrible advice. You need to get very clear on the role that a husband and family is going to play in your life. If there's any part of you that wants that, you need to prioritize that. And this whole attitude that a lot of women have, like they can't walk and chew gum. That's a lot of women. Well, if I'm in school, I can't find a husband. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I don't understand why those two things don't align. Yes, I'm in undergraduate or graduate school, and I'm going to take this opportunity while I'm surrounded by other men in school to find a potential husband. I'm going to use this opportunity of grad school and look around and see what other men are in grad school, and I'm going to find a husband. But you all act like you can't chew gum and walk. And so you can only do one thing. And then you squander your 20s to fool around with men who make horrible husbands, horrible fathers. Like, make that make sense. That's the part I really don't get because it's about fun. It's about having fun, girl. Have fun. And that's how you look. And This is horrible advice. They tell you that sleeping around with a bunch of people is going to teach you what you like in a man. Really? Really? Because it'll traumatize you. You may get an STD. You may get pregnant and need an abortion. That may happen. But somewhere in there, you think that's how you're going to figure out, what you want and like in a husband? No, quite the opposite. It's going to make it that much harder for you to bond to the man that you find that will become your husband. That's horrible advice. No, you need to hold on to your chastity. You need to hold on to your virtue. Okay? Because like I said, the more men you have sex with, and this has been proven, but women hate science. Y'all hate science that says, yeah, the more people you sleep with, the less satisfied your marriage will be, the less satisfied you'll be in your sex life in your marriage to your husband, the less likely you will bond to the man who becomes your husband, because sex is now not seen as some sacred act that you create life with. Sex is seen as recreation. It's fun, it's just what you do. It's not some sacred act. So that's horrible advice. Anything that tries to get you out of the biology, the reality of what is your body. That's like the feminism's trying to separate your mind from your body. So your mind and your mouth is telling you this, but your body is telling you something different. And to me, I live aligned. That's why when my body says, "Ooh, this person is horrible," I just get up and leave. I just get up and leave. And look, my mind and my mouth will try to say, "Well, Anita, give him the benefit of the doubt." My body be like, no, something is wrong here. This dude is not right. So go on and get up, go on and embarrass yourself and him, and just leave. That's what y'all need to learn how to do. But your mind and your body is so separate from one another. Your mind and your mouth will talk you into staying in a situation that your body knew from day one. Something is wrong. Something is not right here. Something is wrong with this man. I don't know what it is, but it's just giving me the heebie-jeebies. I got to get up. I got to get out of here. And here come your mind. No, girl, it's not that bad. Oh, give him the benefit of the doubt and blah, blah, blah. And how's it going to look? I don't care how it look. I leave. I leave men like that alone. Okay? So, y'all need to keep your mind and your body, your spirit, your soul, all of it need to be connected. Because if you just listen, it'll give you information that you have no way of knowing. And I keep telling y'all this. And look, people will try to use their logic to do the wrong thing. That's what's so funny to me. Women are notorious for this. Y'all will try to use y'all's logic to do the wrong thing, to do the bad thing. Where's that logic when it comes to doing the right thing? That's what I want to know. Where is the logic when it comes to doing the right thing? Okay, John_Hernandez 153 says, I just seen a Facebook post saying a porn star named Lana Rhodes is asking everyone to delete all her material from her past because she has a child now. Oh my God. So everybody else should be held accountable. So as everybody else is the problem. Everybody else is the problem because of her pornographic past. Ain't that just like a woman? Refuse to live with the consequences of her actions. Wow. Like I said, y'all, it be some hard days where I can't even relate. Like I be hearing women talk, I see what they do and what they say, and I just be looking at them like, is it me? Like, am I crazy? I don't even want to be associated with this gender. I don't. There's plenty of times where I'm like, oh God, what is going on with modern day women? Why are they like this? I just don't get it. So just understand that over here, I'm gonna tell you that I want you to trust your intuition. I do. I want you to trust your intuition. I want you to believe that feeling in your body, that gut instinct, that is probably on point. Stop trying to talk yourself out of it. Stop trying to, use logic for all the wrong things. Say, no, there's a reason why I feel nervous or anxious around this person. Something about this person is not good for me. And then trust that. Like, you don't need to explain it. You don't have to. I don't explain myself to anybody. I get up out of places all the time. And here's another thing. Stop seeking to be liked and start requiring that people respect you. Now, in order to do that, you have to respect yourself. Again, these are things that I teach my own daughters and my son. Stop wishing to be liked by everybody. I am not liked by everybody. Y'all ought to know that by now. But I require respect. I carry myself in such a way, I dress in such a way, I talk in such a way that I respect myself. Therefore, I expect respect from others. So I'm not out here disrespecting myself, talking all crazy, dressing all crazy, acting all crazy. And then when people treat me crazy, I'm like, well, what's happening? Why aren't I being respected? Why are people talking to me? No. I'm carrying myself in such a way so as to lead with, hey, don't talk to me crazy. Don't come at me crazy. Okay? Don't do that. But just understand, there are older women that are trying to compete with you young ladies. I've told y'all many times, I'm not your competition. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I am not a young woman's competition at all. At all. The men that y'all are interested in, that's not even on my radar. Okay? I'm not on their radar. They're not on my radar. I am not your competition. I'm not going to tell you anything that is going to ruin your chances with these men. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to try to keep you from getting used. That's my intention. Because if you go down a certain road, yes, will men use you? Yes, they will. Because remember, everybody's intention, whether it's a man or a woman, their intention is to the benefit of them, to get what they want. Don't ever forget that. Now, you can discern a man's character to see if he has your best intention. But from day one, can we be honest? From day one, when that man doesn't know you from Eve, it's about his best intention. That's what it's all about. I am in this for my best intention. I'm in this to get what I want. Now, that can shift, that can change as time goes on, as he gets to know you. But from day one, everybody has an agenda. Can we be honest? Everyone has an agenda until they don't. That's the reality. This gentleman is engaging with you for a reason. You don't know what that reason is just yet. And it's your intention to find out. That's your number. Every time a man approaches me, I immediately become Blue's Clues. That's immediately where my head goes. What is this about? What is his intention? Where does he want this to go? See? That's it. I don't demonize the man. I don't say, oh, he just wants some sex or he just wanted. No. I go, let's uncover what it is. Let's get curious. Let's actually get curious about why this person is trying to engage with me. That's what I want women to do. And yes, there's a part of me saying he wants something. Sure, because all people want something. I want something, okay? If I say yes to his date, I want something. Everybody wants something. Why? That's not this. Okay, we all want something. I want companionship. I want to get to know a new person. I want to see if this new person could maybe be my person. See, we all want something. And he wants something. And what I'm telling young ladies is you immediately get curious. I need you to take your time and find out what that gentleman's true intention is. That's it. And I'm talking, you can ask him what his intention is, but you're also going to uncover what his intention is. Because his mouth may be saying one thing, but he actually wants something else, right? So if his mouth says, I want this, you're not going to take that at face value. You're going to see if his actions line up with what his mouth said. Okay? So I'm out here trying to keep women from being naive, to keep women from being used and taken advantage of. All right? I simply want them to critically think. I want them to be open and curious, right? And just, okay, I'm open, I'm curious, I'm aware, I'm seeing if actions and words align. Like, that's it. But I'm not going to demonize this person. I'm not going to make this person, out to be the worst person in the world. That doesn't benefit me, because they may not be. He may actually have good intentions, but we need time to figure that out. We need discernment to figure that out. We need to see if words and actions align, right? And we're not going to, play boo-boo the fool. We're not going to, let a person take advantage of us. We're going to stay in that feminine frame. We're going to be the girl, right? Just be the girl and see what happens. But we're also not going to abandon ourselves. We also have to know what our values and our morals and our standards are, and we're not going to abandon them. Yeah, just because a man's tall, just because he has a full beard, just because he has pretty eyes and beautiful teeth, and just because he knows how to dress, and just because he knows how to talk. Because can I be honest with y'all? Let me tell you what being older has helped me to learn. Is that there are men who look good. There are men who talk well. There are men who are charming and charismatic. There are men that may appear good, and there is no good. There's no good there, right? They will love bomb. They will buy you the thing and take you to the place. They have a little formula. There are a lot of men out here who have a little formula. This equals this equals this equals this equals, boop, the bubble gum pops out. They have a little formula. They know how to get the thing that they came for. And again, this is not, making men bad for wanting sex or whatever it is they want. But if that's not what you want, if that's not your sole focus, then you have to be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. I'm not interested in casual sex. I'm not interested in a sexual encounter. And that's it. I'm not interested in that. So that's why you have to quickly discern, what does the man want? Why is he here? What is his intention? That's it. And now, unfortunately, what I've seen happen over the years, a lot has happened in 57 years. And yeah, a lot less men want to commit. A lot less men want to get married. A lot less men want to have children. A lot less men want the responsibility of a wife. So it is a very tricky time. Very tricky. My advice would look totally different 25 years ago. It would. It would. And here's the thing, y'all. I'm learning and relearning. Like every day that I'm out here in these streets, every day that I'm on these internet streets, every day I am like learning and relearning. Because there were things that I would tell women from before that I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work today. These newfangled men, like that's not going to be as effective. And then my technique has to change because men are different. Women are different. Like I said, I never thought we'd get here with women. Women are different. In my day, most women were quality women. Most women understood what it was to be a wife. Most women understood their part in the male-female sexual dynamic. Like they understood what the deal was. And now it's shocking to hear women talk and they don't have a clue what their value and their worth is and what they bring to a man in a marriage. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, it's rough. All right, Dominican_kisses says, woo, I learned the formula the hard way, but the mask always comes off. Had to learn to use logic. Yep, it does. And if you're just patient, that's the one thing that women suck at. Right behind choosing the wrong man, you all will not wait. You will not wait. You will let a man rush you along. You will let him rush you into bed and rush you into seeing him every day and rush you into talking all the time and rush you into texting all the time. You all are not patient. That's the number one thing I see with young women. You meet a man and in 2 weeks you darn near living with him. That is completely inappropriate. That's not going anywhere fast, ever. Like, come on. And think about it. What starts as a roaring fire is eventually going to burn out. It's going to burn out. So you have to let things smolder. That has to be your new way of getting to know people. A smolder. A tiny little spark, a smoldering, and think of yourself as the onion. You're going to give that person one layer at a time. Then you're going to give them another layer. Then you're going to go into another layer. See, that's what today you have to do. And you are going to you're going to wean out 80% of people. 80% of people in this microwave society, they want it now. They want it today. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to go on to the next. All right. I think this is a gentleman. KO'd as a man that gives this game out. Ladies got to stop being so easy. You'll get more when more is required. Agreed. Thank you. All facts, auntie. Yeah. But again, women have been tricked. You've been lied to. You've been told that, you should offer yourself up on a silver platter. Y'all out here giving men not just your body, all of your good years, your money. And y'all know I don't play about my money. Y'all know I don't play about my money. It's one of the 21 feminine principles. It's one of the 21 feminine principles. Thou shalt never give a man money. I'm sorry. I that's a hill I will die on. Okay. And how you feel about it is how you feel about it. Okay. If that eliminates 99.9% of men, oh, well, Anita says she won't give a man no money. Okay. Well, Anita is dying alone because I'm not playing mama to no grown man. I'm not playing grandma. I'm not playing Wells Fargo or no, that ain't happening. That reverses the polarity. That makes me the man and you the itch. Okay? I'm not giving you any money. But y'all out here, it's bad enough you're giving your cooch. It's bad enough you're giving all your good years and all your time, all your fertile years. You're giving men money. You giving men money. You letting men live in your house and drive your car. I wish I would. Like I said, I got some pets. Y'all, look, I'm going to tell the men, please invest in some. You don't need to invest in no wine because I don't drink. But please invest in some dog food, some cat. Yeah, do that. I'm going to tell you that directly. Invest in some dog food and some cat food because Anita will be by herself with her animals. Invest in some chicken food. Invest in some goat food. That's what Anita will be doing. Okay? I'm not giving a man no money. Now, I just, like I said, they have fooled y'all and made you into the man. But yeah, girl, go out here and get all these degrees and get these high post careers going and make all this money. And when you do, that means that he can come to the table with nothing. Like, nah, that never, ever. But that's what they got y'all believing. They actually got y'all believing that a man can come to you with absolutely nothing. And then when you have problems respecting him, when your mouth gets the best of you and you call yourself cussing him out and telling him about himself, because nobody can respect a man that has nothing. Crazy American t-shirt that says at KO'd, but don't take advantage of them either. Okay, so this is the one, agreed. But ladies, we got to stop blaming the men. We have to look at ourselves. We have to get up on game. And I'm talking good game. When I say the word game, it's not a manipulation. It's just knowledge. It's just discernment. It's just wisdom. I can call it something else if you like, but that's what I teach women. I don't teach them to go against their body. I don't teach them to waste their good fertile years. I teach them to find a husband. I teach them to, in some regards, rewire this nature that they have. I'm finishing up David Buss's book. And one of the things that it said in that book, and I'm actually going to make a post where it said that evolutionary psychology, it gives you a framework. It gives you knowledge about male and female nature. However, you as a human, you will forever have choice. It's all about choice. It's about the choices that you make. You can go against it. You can decide. I mean, because women are doing that, in my humble opinion. Women are going against hypergamy. You all aren't dating men that are better than you. A lot of you are dating and married to men who are either the same as you or who have less than you. So you're already doing it. You're making choices that are very different than what's in your evolutionary nature. And just like, yes, it says, oh, you've got to have a man that's taller than you or stronger than you or has more resources than you. There are women who are choosing the opposite. They're choosing a man who's 2 inches taller or 1 inch taller. They're choosing a man who makes about the same amount of money as them, right? It's all about choice. That's what life is about. So when men say, oh, a woman's, you're only with her, you're only with her. What is the saying? There's a red pill saying about, oh, she's not your woman. It's just your turn, right? And this is just your turn with her. That doesn't necessarily have to be true. You got to choose someone that is actually about you, that knows you and is about you and is like, you know what? I want to build a life with you. I want to create something amazing with you. I want to choose you. That's all it is choosing that other person over and over and over. And then you together, you make a fantastic life. Now, this is for young people. If I was talking to people that are older, that conversation looks different. If you're 35, 40 and older, that's a totally different conversation. But it's still two people coming together, making magic, making an amazing, beautiful marriage and connection. I may not be, buying a house at this age with a man, or I may not be having a bunch of kids with a man at this age, but we are still coming together to show the world. And remember, marriage is all about, it was God's way of bringing a piece of heaven down to earth, right? It's all about, okay, marriage is a wonderful example of Christ's love for the church. That's what marriage is all about. It's just in human form. Like when a man and a woman come together and they have a beautiful marriage, gender role centered marriage, a wonderful marriage, a respectful and loving and fantastic marriage, they are an example to the world of Christ's love for the church, that relationship. That's really all it was ever meant to be. And when you have lots of that, lots of people and lots of marriages showing you all what is possible when you are self-sacrificing, when you are able to connect with this other person and love this other person and just consistently do things, not based on feelings, based on a commitment. That is what it's all about. That is when, like I said, I've seen these marriages and it is enviable. It is truly amazing to witness. It's enviable to see these people love each other for all these years. It is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I would love to bring that back. But women have got to humble themselves. Men have got to reconnect to their hearts. Men are completely cut off from their hearts. They are stone cold in their hearts. And, this world has, it's done a job. I have another video coming out that's all about the modern day church. The modern day Black church has completely let men down. The modern day Black church has failed men today. It's failed. It's a complete joke. And I'm a devout Christian telling you this. It is a joke. And once they took men out, once they retargeted women, once they went all the way back to the garden, you know what? You know what we need to do to destroy everything in the whole world is target women. If we can get women to denounce their modesty, to denounce their chastity, if we can get women to kill their babies in their womb, if we can get women to make themselves an idol, to make their beauty an idol, if we can get women to die on the altar of attention, if we can get women to denounce marriage and children, and they were right. They were right. Satan knew exactly what to do. He said, "Oh, I'm just going to go back to the garden. It worked then, it'll work now." And he was right. He was right. Most women today don't have a clue about what is happening. They don't understand what is happening. They have been completely turned off and turned against men. They're very complement, their protector, their provider. They have been turned against him. And it's not going to work, y'all. It's just not going to work. And it's sad that women are going to get out of childbearing years. They're going to get older and they're going to wake up to, oh, wow, this is not as fulfilling as I thought. This is not making me happy. I am actually quite miserable. And what's so wild is, I said this to a friend the other day. I said, y'all, men, they have these number one insults online. It's hilarious. So the insult about dying alone. Okay, everybody is, like, okay, everybody's going to die alone. And, y'all are just going to be alone. Everybody is. Everybody is. No one's going to escape. No one's going to escape what's coming. Everyone's going to feel, what's coming. And there are some who are going to fare better than others in the sense of, like I said, I think those of us who've been married, who've had children, we've experienced love from a person, we've experienced partnership. It's going to suck. I mean, because I tell people now, yeah, it does suck. It does suck, but I can't say I've never had it, right? I can't say, well, I've never had it. I've never known love. I have 35-year-old women. This is wild to me. I have 35-year-old women that come into my practice and they say, yeah, I've never been in a relationship. I've never had a boyfriend. I've never been in love. That is a travesty. That is literally horrific. That sounds horrific to me. By 35, I was married and I had 3 children. And 35-year-old women are coming into my office saying, I've never been in a relationship. I've never been in love. And they're not married and have not. That sounds awful. And maybe some of them are going to be okay because in their mind's eye, well, if I don't know any different, if I don't know any better, then what's the difference? But it's like, man, I believe everyone has this hole inside of them that should be filled with that love, that should be filled with the love of a child, the love of a spouse, right? Golly, that sounds awful. That sounds absolutely horrible. So that's just me, y'all. That's just me. But we're all not doing well. Like, stop with that insult. We're all not doing good. The men are not faring any better. The men, they have that's happening in their life is they are being castrated. They're being slowly castrated. They're being slowly numbed. The video games, the pornography, the drinking, the drugs, the smoking, everybody's just being lulled to sleep. They're just being numbed to the true calling on their life, the destiny on their life. The children they'll never have, the spouse they'll never have, the home they'll never own, the business they'll never have. Everybody. You're just being lulled to sleep. You're just being anesthetized. That's all that's happening. And like I said, I talk to certain men. They know. They always say that. I know. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. Like, they do. They'll have clarity and they'll be like, Anita, I know this isn't right. I know this is not how my life is supposed to be. This is not how the last part of my life is supposed to be. I'm like, I know. But we all have a cope. We all have to cope somehow. All right. Say yes to Heaven 1111 says it's hard to find a guy that doesn't see marriage as a business contract. Yeah. Like I said, things are changed. They've changed. Things are different. I don't have children, and I probably won't, but I look forward to being a supportive stepmom. Well, that's good. That's good. But things have changed, and not in a good way. And it's shocking to me when people think that we're so much better. We're so much better. Look at the technology. And I watched an interview with oh gosh, what is her name? Louise Perry and Bonnie Blue, the infamous, crazy porn lady, the porn girl who's in her 20s and looks like she's in her 40s. It's crazy. They sat down and had a reasonable conversation. But just listening to her talk, I'm like, wow, this is where we are. Women having sex with 1,000 men. That is sick. And she just like, yeah, I like money. I like money. I like attention. And, I'm making more money than I will ever spend. And, and then when I asked, if your daughter decided to do this, oh, no, she won't do this because, I'm setting up my children. I'm setting up, my future children for life. Like, oh, I did this for money and she won't need money. What if she just is traumatized and broken because you're her mother? There's plenty of women that, they're doing it for all kinds of weird reasons. It's sick. Like I said, the world is a sick, twisted place. And all I would mainly be focused on most of the time is just keeping mine safe, keeping mine off the pole, keeping mine out from in front of cameras and all this other craziness. That's the main thing I'd be focused on, y'all, is just keeping my 3 kids sane. Keeping my 3 kids from falling to this world. Because it's bad. It's bad. It's a whole lot of nonsense out here. And it's easy. It's easy for your kids or your young adults to fall into some mess. And before you know it, these girls are graduating high school and the first thing they're doing is getting an OnlyFans account. That's crazy. That's a sickness. It's just crazy. So ladies, be very wary about where you get your advice from. If your advice makes men the villain, it's not good. If your advice is immoral, illegal, or unethical, it's not good. If your advice does not hold you radically responsible and accountable for what you do and the choices you make, it's not good. Okay? I mean, that's it. And yes, there are a lot of older women out here, a lot of bitter women, right? And it's called intersexual dynamics, intersexual competition. They are trying to compete with you. And it's like men saying, women keep other women single. Not every woman keeps every woman single, but there are women. It's called intersex competition dynamics, right? There are some women who do want to keep other women single. That's what that whole having a boyfriend is so embarrassing is about. They don't have a boyfriend and they don't want you to have a boyfriend. They aren't married and they don't want you to be married. Be mindful of those types of women. That's not every woman, but you should see that coming. You should see that coming. To me, that's not a sneak tactic. I can see that coming a mile away. Women who are talking crazy online, I'm like, yeah, I'm not falling for it. And I don't want y'all to fall for it. Crazy American T-shirt says they don't want to use their brain and struggle to get success. Lazy minds equals OnlyFans. Yeah. But here's the thing. The world does reward this deviant behavior. And that's why I'm teaching women to think for themselves and to grow up and act like a grown-up. Like, no, I don't care if the world is willing to pay you millions of dollars. No, this is going to have very negative consequences in the future. Don't do it. But the world, it rewards the bad behavior of women. It rewards them dressing bad and getting BBLs and putting all this crap in their face and the lashes and the hair and the nails. And then it rewards the thirst traps on social media and the stupid TikTok videos. I mean, these TikTok videos get millions of views. That's just regular old behavioral science. I do this and this happens in response. Oh, I get 1 million views. Oh, I get paid to make these crazy videos. I'm going to make more of them. I mean, that's like simple. So you have got to be strong today. You've got to be a strong-minded person today to not fall for this crap because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in young people's ears, older people's ears, especially now that older people have, in my opinion, failed younger people. They're out here trying to compete with younger people. They don't want to dress their age, act their age. It's just wild to me. There's no part of me that wants to be 25 again, that wants to dress like I'm 25 and talk like I'm 25. No, I'm good. I'm good. So we need more people to be wise and to give wise, sage advice. And that's what my channel is about. That's what I'm out here trying to do. I am not your competition at all. I'm not even close. But I am trying to get you what I think it is that you want. What I think it is going to make you happy long term. I want to be a part of that journey. That's what I'm on. That's what I'm about. But if women say, I want to get married one day, I say, okay, well, let's think about it today. Why are we putting it off for 15, 20 years? Why don't we think about it now? Because Bonnie Blue said in her interview, she's what, 26? That the doctor told her, which you know how I feel about this, the doctor told her that she's not going to be able to have children unless she does it by IVF. That, my fertility is all messed up. I'm not able to have children unless I do IVF. I don't believe that. If you have all the parts, anything can happen. Anything at any time can happen. So in my humble opinion, I hope she's on some sort of birth control. You out here having sex with 1,000 men? Oh, heck no. Heck no. And wouldn't that be the way? Wouldn't that be a cruel irony if she was out here making this content and she got pregnant by some random dude? Wouldn't that be a cruel irony? So yeah, just you got to stay awake. You got to make sure that, like I said, you stay prayed up. You make sure you have all your faculties. You are wide awake. Okay. He said they employ themselves with OnlyFans. Then in their bio, they say, be patient and put God first. Oh yeah. Don't get me started on these people with these bios. What kind of crap is that when they the one that wasn't patient and didn't trust in God by OnlyFans? Yeah. I can't stand hypocrites, and hypocrites are out here everywhere. They'll be half naked and have something crazy in their bio, like some scripture or God girl and all this crap. Yeah, don't fall for it. But ladies, patience. That's it. That's my superpower. I tell people, patience is my superpower now. I pace men. I pace when I talk to them. I pace when I just pace them out. And within a week, they're gone because they want it yesterday. They want it yesterday. Whatever they came for, they don't want it in 3 months, 9 months, a year. They want it yesterday. And you're going to find out real quickly who is sincere and who is not. All you have to do is be patient. Just be patient. But see, y'all not patient. Y'all not patient. Y'all want it yesterday. So that's why you the perfect match for this dude. But no, I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make everybody wait. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to see how this unfolds. And, I always tell women, you don't push the man emotionally, but he better not push me sexually or otherwise. That's the thing that I control. See? That's it. All right. Have a great evening. I'm going to take my mom her dinner, and then I'm headed back to have my dinner. And I'm going to try to chill for the rest of the night because I had a whole list of to-do today. I didn't get half of it done. I didn't get my nap. And look, y'all, now that it's getting dark, at 5:30 at night, I kid y'all not, my son and I will watch our show after dinner and we'd be ready to go to bed. It'd be 7 o'clock, 7:30. And we look at the clock and we like, darn, how much longer till bedtime? Like it's just wearing me out. This thing with this darkness, man, it'd be wearing me out. So have a great night. I appreciate you all for listening. If you would like to get in contact with me, everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. If you ever want coaching, you're going to go to my pillar link. If you want to join my school, that is down in the box below. That's a link. If you have questions, comments, you can email them to me at info@betterlovemovement.com. If you like a free trial of Skool, again, email me and I will send you that email from Skool. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good night. And as always, stay open to love.